remain. Hi everyone, you have fun with the next. We're bringing everything that is awesome in gaming. I'm your host, Angindra. We like to go out and 6 days out of 7 bring you something that has a different gaming mechanic, way of telling stories, way of using things that are developing in gaming so you can kind of stay up on what's going on. Marco was never a fan of stories for most of my life. This time I'd like to tell someone myself. Cool. So if you hit the bell down there, that'll actually alert you and you can subscribe as well. It's totally free. Make this chick smile. This is a story about dealing with my own misconceptions. Those are always fun ones. That can be like a fairy tale, fable, tall tale. It all started in the summer of 2012 at Poggybone Sea. Me and Mom and some of Grandpa's friends were all reunited at his old house. We were there to attend a funeral. At the time I was still immature and completely clueless. I kind of remember this from when I grabbed it from the game dev. It looked interesting. Before saying anything, I'd like to take a moment to thank you all for coming. It has some interesting storytelling aspects, which is why we snatched it up. Our friend Piero was always able to help us, no matter how desperate the situation was. We like choice in gaming. I love that there's, a storyline and the dev has that. Anna, here is a story I hold very dear. I remember him coming to me to apologize. He'd taken the novel I was working on at the time, saying that he'd been heartbroken that I was hiding it. He then told me how he'd snuck into an office of Easter Island's largest publisher. He forced the publisher to give that novel a deserved rating. Once the man was done reviewing it, he was astonished, saying it was now his duty to publish my work. Is anyone really just going to keep on telling Grandpa's stories like always? I'm going to go with yes. Yes, they are. Piero once told me the story of how he made his beloved Laura fall in love with him. Truly legendary tale, he faced all sorts of adversaries to reach the ultimate love spell. An incantation so powerful that the enchantress Circe herself was defending it. And what a good ending he had when he finally returned to her. That was actually how it all went down. I was there too. These people seemed like a cult of crazies worshipping Grandpa's fairy tales. Kids these days. Piero, do you remember the time I went digging with Franco and Paolo? Sure was one heck of a ride. I miss you both dearly. Digging? What the heck does my grandfather have to do with this? Among all the stories Piero told us, there's one that holds a special place in my heart. His son, my dear Franco, was really fond of motor racing and wanted to compete at least once in his life. The richest guy in Siena was holding a race, but Franco's Fiat Panda was no match for his new Ferrari. My husband was saddened at the thought of losing this opportunity, but Piero had come up with a solution. He knew that with the right adjustments, cars could even fly, so he went and started tweaking the engine. When they were done, Franco's car had become faster than any other car around, so fast it couldn't be stopped. The car was so indomitable, the little bump was enough to send flying into the sky, and just like that, my husband became the first Italian man to land on the moon. First Italian man on the moon? Really? My dad died because of Grandpa's ridiculous tinkering. I feel like I'm living in a fever dream right now. Why do you all choose to believe these pathetic lies? People get hurt because of these stories. They get bullied. They get labeled as delusional idiots. You're all evil. Do you think this is just some kind of twisted joke? Above all, you should understand, Mom. Why can't you just accept the truth? You know what? I will show you Grandpa for who he really was. I'll find out what the root of this vicious cycle is. Just wait and see. I'll be back in a few days. You'll all finally wake up from this wicked dream you choose to live in. That's what I remember from the opening. He just chooses to rebel against the storytelling tropes that we have for funerals to keep families together. Oh, Marco, if only you would have let me finish. So there's some sort of twist at the end, which supposedly would have made things better for him. Interesting thought there. A couple of days later, I took a boat to Isola Minore, a small island in Lake Maggiore. My plan was to find Grandpa's old friends and trade a picture he left me. Once I'd find them, I'd ask about Grandpa to prove I'd been right all along. These stories were all dangerous nonsense in my head, and I was determined to stop them. And then we go to a little bit more of a cutout. It has this old world feel that I see out of some Spanish games and so on, but I just thought it was so cool. Sigh. Should have planned this a bit better before coming here. I don't even know who all these people I'm looking for are. Probably all old and wrinkled now. These derelicts. Will I even be able to recognize them? So let's go take a look. Walk around, let's interact. Thanks a lot for scaring those bloody pigeons. Welcome, I guess. Birds do not get scared by the inhabitants of the island. They're too used to us. I was trying to spook them. They only flew away when we got near, I swear. They all like this. Is this their way? You see, Armando, we are smart. We went to buy souvenirs right after our arrival. And now we are in the perfectly in time for our ferry. Would you look at that? The store is already closed. We spent all day here without visiting the island. What are you talking about? The most important thing is not what you see, but what you bring home. You say so. I really can't understand you. It's that simple. Why can't you get it? Glad I heard that fight. Goodness. Closed at this time of the day. Weird. No taking bikes. This is not an option for us, friend. Buste Italiani. Sorry, I'm kind of busy right now. I'm passing by later if you need me. Sure. Have a good evening. Of course. Match, even. Giovanni, where are you? You can hide as much as you want, but when I find you... I like the protector. I feel like he has personality despite the outburst. And that's just something that's really a natural set of emotions. I hope that he matures. And follow him closer. I must share with you one of the legends of my land. Many years ago there was a lady. Now I need to start from the very beginning. Oh no. Countless centuries ago, our land was ruled by a powerful queen. She was called Regina della Neve. She was as beautiful as beauty itself. She was also terribly lonely, surrounded only by steep cliffs in a harsh wilderness. The boy fell in love with her and eventually decided to climb a high mountain where she lived. The boy was an expert hunter, but the journey proved too much for his skilled and purposeful lover. The man ended up falling to his doom in a deep precipice, only to be mourned by his beloved queen. The maiden's tears flowing profusely through the woods were so intense, many creeks and streams were born that day. That's why Mount Capio can be seen even to this day, so rich and full of flowing waters, thanks to the legendary Regina del Nobel. Thank you, I suppose. Hello, cat. Are you an interesting NPC? I'm a cute kitty. Who's the cutest? You are. Meow. You should make it meow as many times as possible for you to stray. So, Seek and Vines got popular for this reason. Rather than using character interaction, they had to find objects to move along the story. Another one of those meddling tourists. Welcome to our beautiful home, Isola Minore. Thanks for the warm welcome. See, never. Never! Hey, same old lady. Where are you from, dear boy? You look like someone who's in search of something. From Tuscany, and I am looking for someone. It's pretty much written all over your face. Ask me anything. I'm the oldest and wisest person in Isola Minore. Let me show you a photo. Ask about Grandpa's friends first. These are all my grandfather's friends. I know they still live here, and I'm looking for them. Do you know any of them? These are all new faces for me. Are you sure this is the right island you're searching for them? Thanks for your help. Memory's a bit blurry. I think she's mistaken. Much as I hate to admit it, paper cars are pretty iconic. Only one of a kind car that I can stand, probably due to the fact that they don't look like cars at all. You must be joking! Wish I could tell you that. No, sadly it is the truth. He was still so young, how could that happen? Medicines really weren't his favorite meal. This kind of man who thought he could handle everything all by himself. Do we have a fight? Where did Michelle go? Isn't he her? Michelle go. I don't know, he was kind of distracted. I didn't see where he was headed. As far as yelling goes, Italian culture has it. My fiancé is Russian. And I just basically tell people with the yelling. When they ask, about family gatherings and that sort of thing. That's just their culture. They're very loud people. It's like they're bidding on things constantly. The story, Sorry, I think I need some time to be alone. Fine, dear, see you later. Take care of yourself. She starts crying. This is horrible. I'm great with people who have, lost loved ones. I will obviously go help. Sorry, lady, would you mind if I asked you a question? You're the woman in this photo, right? Why do you have that? Where did you get it? It belonged to my grandfather. The plot thickens. It's one of the few things he left when he died. You're Piero's grandson. I'm so sorry for your loss and condolences. Tell me, dear, did you need something? So you're friends with my grandfather, right? We used to be very close friends a long time ago. My name is Luisella. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, too. Listen, it's probably a bit sudden, but I was wondering, could you tell me something about my grandfather? I'm so glad you asked, dear. I got it. Here's a memory that could help you understand the kind of person Piero used to be. This is how I remember him. And we get to go into the memory and live that. really different use of storytelling, you know, 2 thumbs up. So if you guys want to try it out, link in the description below. Also down there's Gamer Grind, Gamer Coffee shipped to your door, so we did, you know, partner with the Gamer Co-op. You can obviously pin for what to play next merch. Liking, subscribing, commenting, that's totally free, so hit the bell. We love you guys. Oh, I do have to click in order to progress this story. I thought you were just going to read as I did my outro. So she's going to tell me a princess story. Oh no. We'll skip the swear words still. Listen here, old lady, I asked you about my grandfather. I'm not here for made-up bedtime stories or something like that. You don't want to listen to me, huh, you little brat? Just stop disrespecting your grandfather and those made-up bedtime stories. You never know, you could get hurt, she threatens me. Get out of my sight. We were having a hard time before you showed up. You ever be half the man and Piero was. So we get kicked out of a story. It's impressive. Anyways, link in the description below. You know, check in with us daily or get the alert. We love you guys. We love that you're always along for the ride. We'll see you next video.